is the Fox 5 News Block.
Breaking news, Special Counsel Jack Smith asking a federal judge to dismiss the case accusing President-elect Donald Trump of plotting to overturn the 2020 election. And Jessica Tisch is sworn in as New York City's newest police commissioner. Good afternoon, I'm Arthur Chien. Welcome to the News Block. Those stories in a moment, but first, let's take a live look outside right now. It's clear, but it's a little chilly. Audrey Puente is here now with more on our forecast. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Arthur. It looks pretty nice outside with that evening shot, or actually outside shot there. We have plenty of sunshine overhead in Central Park. The temperature now is at 53 degrees. We're in the mid-50s at LaGuardia with a few more clouds decorating the sky, and it's just under 60 over towards Atlantic City. We've had plenty of sunshine to start out the day, but now we're starting to see some clouds working in from the west. They're coming in ahead of our next rainmaker that will impact our area as we go into Tuesday. There'll be some rainy weather from the Ohio Valley all the way through the northeast into New England. So if you'll be traveling across this part of the country tomorrow, you want to be aware that you could be having some slick roadways or maybe even some possible delays because of the rainy weather that we're expecting. Here it plays out in our futurecast. We'll have clouds increasing overnight tonight. We'll have kind of a chance of sprinkles overnight too. But tomorrow morning, roughly after about 6 or 7 a.m., we're going to start to see rain pushing into the region here, and it will be steady through the morning commute. Good news is it will actually exit the coastline here by lunchtime. We'll break into full sunshine before the day's end, and that sunshine will help warm us up nicely too. We're looking at highs near 60 degrees in many spots for your Tuesday. So for the rest of today, we're going to stick it out in the low 50s in many spots. Tonight we'll drop back into the 40s. Again, clouds will be on the increase, and we do have the chance of a couple of sprinkles. We'll have another rain chance as we go into the Thanksgiving holiday. It's going to make for slick travel across the entire northeast, and then we have a big winter chill coming by next weekend. Temperatures will feel definitely more winter-like with highs only in the upper 30s. I'll have the details coming up. Arthur?
All right. Well, thanks so much, Audrey. Special Counsel Jack Smith is asking a federal judge now to dismiss the case against President-elect Donald Trump, accusing him of plotting to overturn the 2020 election. Smith citing a long-standing Justice Department policy shielding presidents from prosecution while they are in office. Linda Schmidt is live in the newsroom right now with the latest for us. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Arthur. Some big news here this afternoon. Now, Smith had fought fiercely to hold President-elect Donald Trump criminally accountable, but this conclusion, while remarkable, was expected after Trump won the election. Now, Smith moved to dismiss both criminal cases against Trump today, one accusing him of plotting to overturn the 2020 election and another charging him with mishandling classified documents in Florida. Smith cited long-standing Justice Department policy that says sitting presidents cannot face criminal prosecution. Now, in the filings, and this is important here, Smith's team emphasized that the move to abandon the prosecutions was not a reflection of their view on the merits of the cases, but rather a reflection of their commitment to department policy. The election case had also stalled once the U.S. Supreme Court ruled for the very first time back in July that former presidents have broad immunity from prosecution. Now, Trump, as you know, because he has been very vocal about this, he has always called both of these cases politically motivated and had vowed to fire Smith as soon as he takes office in January. So big news here today, Arthur. Back upstairs to you.
Attention back to New York. Jessica Tisch has now been sworn in as the city's newest police commissioner. This morning, Tisch has been serving as sanitation commissioner since the year 2022. She is a 12-year veteran of the NYPD and has served a variety of roles within the department. And now Tisch is making history as the second woman to serve as the NYPD's commissioner. Her first job in city government was with the NYPD's Counterterrorism Bureau 16 years ago. She worked for the department for more than a decade then, eventually becoming NYPD's Deputy Commissioner for Information Technology, overseeing the NYPD's 911 operations. Tisch also comes from a prominent family. Her father owns the Lowe's Corporation. Adams emphasizing today his trust in Tisch, despite her never being actually in uniform, and pledges she will get the department back on track.
A good manager can manage anywhere. And I push back on anyone that believes she had to wear a police uniform to take the police department to the next direction. She can wear any uniform and accomplish the task. She is a battle-tested leader.
The police exist to eliminate fear and disorder. Your cops, like generations before them, nobly put their lives on the line each and every time they put on that uniform to protect you and your families. And they do a damn good job of it. We will continue to do that most important foundational work to make you safe, to make you feel safe, and to improve your quality of life across the city.
Tisch is the fourth police commissioner to be appointed under Mayor Eric Adams. And the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York announcing his intention to resign. Damian Williams, who has served as the chief federal law enforcement officer in the district, says his last day will be December 13th. Edward Kim, who currently serves as Deputy United States Attorney, will become the acting U.S. Attorney. And Attorney Jim Walden officially launching his run for New York City mayor. The former federal prosecutor is not registered to a party and has yet to say whether he'll run in the Democratic primary. Former New York Governor David Paterson and former FDNY Chief James Leonard are among those supporting him. Walden says he has a history of fighting for people struggling, and that New Yorkers he's been speaking with express fear about the direction the city is headed in. Walden joins a crowded field of candidates running against Mayor Eric Adams next year. And the FDNY and the NYPD are handing out 10,000 turkeys all week long to the homeless and those who are in need. Today, those turkeys were handed out at St. Malachi's Church in Midtown. The turkeys are being donated by Gristedes and D'Agostino's supermarkets as a public service. 1.2 million New Yorkers face food insecurity, a number that continues to rise as inflation and housing challenges drive even more people into hardship. And the Thanksgiving travel week is here. This year's expected to be busier than ever before. AAA predicting around 80 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home between tomorrow and next Monday, with most people planning to travel to their destination by car. Meantime, in the skies, the TSA says it could screen a possible record number of passengers flying on Sunday. Here's what the executive director of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey had to say about all this earlier this morning.
We expect record volumes of travelers, setting really the highest level of usage that we have seen. The growth of travel since the end of the pandemic has been extraordinary.
Which means take a deep breath. While the transportation analytics company predicts tomorrow and Wednesday afternoons will be the worst to travel by car. And expect road closures and gridlock tonight. President Biden is planning to attend an event here in New York City. He and First Lady Jill Biden are planning to participate in a Friendsgiving meal on Staten Island around 6 p.m. The two will deliver remarks and serve food to service members and their loved ones at the U.S. Coast Guard sector, New York in Fort Wadsworth. President Obama was the last sitting president to visit Staten Island back in 2012.
Based on your temperament and commitment to being productive members of society, I hereby pardon Peach and Blossom.
Yeah, it's time for pardons. President Biden is pardoning the last two turkeys of his presidency. The two turkeys are named after Delaware's state flower, the peach blossom. Peach blossom flowers symbolize resilience. Peach is 41 pounds, blossom is 40 pounds. That's a lot of flour. President Biden says they now join the free birds of the United States. Previous birds that Biden pardoned were peanut butter and jelly, chocolate and chip, and Liberty and Bell. And a judge will decide today whether to re-examine the convictions of Eric and Lyle Menendez based on new evidence in the case. Lyle and Eric Menendez's aunts testified for them at a hearing on whether to dismiss convictions for the killing of their parents. The two brothers were found guilty of murdering their parents in their Beverly Hills home more than 30 years ago. Their attorney claims they had been sexually abused by their father, but prosecutors argued they were motivated by money. The brothers were sentenced to life in prison without parole. A recent Netflix documentary, or drama rather, about them brought new attention to the case, and the Los Angeles DA recommended resentencing the brothers, which could make them immediately eligible for parole. And developing news out of the Middle East, the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. says a possible Hezbollah ceasefire deal could be reached within days. This all comes as both sides traded airstrikes over the weekend. Fox's Alex Hogan has the latest.
After nearly a year of fighting, Israel and Hezbollah are reportedly moving closer to reaching a ceasefire deal. But there have been several sticking points, including an Israeli demand for guarantees to ensure Hezbollah weapons are removed from the border area.
The test for any agreement will not be in words or phrasing, but in enforcement, preventing Hezbollah from moving southward and rearming in all of Lebanon.
The progress comes after the White House made a major diplomatic push last week, sending U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein to the region to hammer hammer out final details. The U.S.-backed agreement would see the IDF withdraw from Lebanon for at least 60 days. During that time, the Lebanese army would deploy along the border and be responsible for preventing Hezbollah from reestablishing itself in southern Lebanon.
What's going to bring, peace and allow people to return to their homes on that northern border is a ceasefire.
Both sides are facing growing international pressure to reach a deal after Hezbollah launched more than 250 rockets and missiles into Israel on Sunday, one of the group's largest strikes in recent months. At least 7 people were injured. Hezbollah says the attack was in response to deadly Israeli airstrikes in Beirut that killed more than a dozen people on Saturday. And the fight with Hamas continues, with Israel launching several airstrikes in Gaza over the weekend. In Tel Aviv, Israel, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
All right, let's take a live look outside right now, and we are looking westward there out of Brooklyn. Looks like there might be a little bit of the grayness that Audrey Puente, our meteorologist, has been hinting of. She has our forecast right now. Is that it?
Well, we are watching a system, Arthur, that's going to bring cloud cover into the region later on this afternoon and rain across our region for Tuesday. Then another system developing along the Pacific Northwest. That one will be affecting us on Thanksgiving Day. Here it plays out on our futurecast. Clouds will be invading our skies tonight. We could have a chance of a few sprinkles, but it's tomorrow morning's commute that will be quite slick across the region. We have rain expected after about 6 or 7 a.m. and it will move offshore by lunchtime, breaking into full sunshine, which will warm us up to near 60 degrees in many spots for Tuesday. Wednesday will be relatively quiet as far as the weather's concerned. A good travel day for Wednesday. And if you are planning to travel this week, it appears that Monday and Wednesday, that's today and Wednesday, will be the best travel weather days of this week. Now, the worst travel window appears to be midday on Thursday. We're expecting rounds of moderate to heavy rainfall coming through here. That will linger overnight into very early on Friday morning, so plan accordingly. In the meantime, today, we're going to stay dry for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures will mostly be in the low 50s to upper 40s. Tonight, we drop back into the 40s with cloudy skies and some 30s off to the north and west. Tomorrow, after some morning rain, we'll break into some sunshine. It'll be cooler and dry on Wednesday. Thursday, we have that rain coming in for the Thanksgiving holiday. It will linger into early on Friday. Arthur?
All right, thanks so much, Audrey. Well, move over Rockefeller Center tree. The origami holiday tree has opened at the American Museum of Natural History. As we close out the leap year, the theme for this year's origami tree is Jumping for Joy, inspired by animals that leap. For decades, the origami tree has been an annual New York City tradition, marking the start of the holiday season at the museum. And that's your news block for now. I'm Arthur Chien. Thanks so much for joining us. Tune in to the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 and right here on Fox Local for all the day's news as it develops. We'll see you back here tomorrow.